well as far as what the umpire's calling for strikes. There's a drop ball low and inside, and the count even up at a ball and a strike.
The Sioux City infield set a double play depth. Marty Kernigan just a step inside the bag at third. David Boyce and carrying double play depth there at second base and shortstop. Mark Sorensen peering in, trying to catch the signals from Tim Wall, seeing what's going to be coming.
Swing and a miss at a changeup, and the count 1-2. You make an interesting point there. The defense needs to know what pitch is coming as well.
It's especially a benefit if you know that changeup's coming, because 9 out of 10 times, if the batter does make contact, it's off his front foot, and he's going to pull a little ground ball to the left side. If you're a right-hand hitter, to the right side if you're a left-handed hitter.
The 1-2, swinging a ground ball to third, off the chest of Kernigan, and he doesn't have a play anywhere. The bases are going to be loaded. Some shaky defense to go along with some shaky control by Michael White, and Victoria Payless has had the door open for them here in the second inning.
Well, White made the pitch he needed to make that situation there. He got a little ground ball off of McElrath's bat. Here it shows on the replay again now. White delivering off-speed drop ball off his front foot, like I said before. One hopper right at third base, Marty Kernigan. He had a double play if he could find the handle, stepping on third and throwing to first. It was certainly set up for him, but he couldn't find the handle on the ball, and it'll go as an error on Kernigan. Put Michael White in a tough spot now with the bases loaded.
So maybe Kernigan took his eye off the ball to think about that double play and instead lost them all. So the bases are loaded with one out for Bobby Court, the second baseman. Left-hand hitter awaits the pitch from Michael White. Bunting, the safety squeeze, misses the attempt for strike one. Court hitting .250 with no extra base hits and 2 runs batted in. And now he'll come up the line to have a word with his manager and third base coach Bob Buckslag. Bob, in his first year as the skipper of this Victoria Ball Club, he took over on January 23rd. Boy, pretty tough to take over a ball club that has just won 2 straight Canadian National Championships.
What do you do for an encore?
1 strike the count on Court. Bases loaded, 1 out. The pitch. Down and away to the left-hand hitter, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. Outfield very shallow all the way around for Court, who looks down at third for the sign.
We also have the infield in tight. They're looking to go home with any ground ball right at an infielder.
White's pitch. Swing and a miss at a rise ball that wound up about below the cap high.
That's a pitch out halfway to home plate. It looks like it's a hittable pitch, letter high. By the time it gets to the batter's box, it's about a foot over the batter's head. But once you make a commitment, sometimes you can't hold up.
White ahead on the count. Now the pitch. Run up, slap, sensational catch, and they get the double play. Oh, despair on the part of Mark McElrath as Mike Sorensen makes a great move to his left. We talk about having the reflexes of a hockey goalie, and you see it here. Boy, I tell you what, Sorensen, quick move to his left, and then he has to reach out with his glove, get the double play to keep it scoreless going into the bottom of the second.
Silver summer. Silver time, silver light, girl in the silver suit looks so fine. Looks so fine. Silver box, silver top, silver fish, silver wish come from here, right from here. Ooh, and it tastes so good. Cause the light is the right here now. The light is the right here now.
The footwork of soccer, the high scoring of basketball.
It's a goal.
The hits of football without the pads. Australian Rules Football.
The preliminary final, Friday night at 11 Eastern on Prime Network. Golf's greatest from around the world take aim on Europe's most challenging courses. The European Tour.
This week on Prime.
I've dealt with a disability most of my life. But that hasn't stopped me from getting an education and working in my profession. I am an educator, and I want to continue to teach. The only way that this is going to happen is if the Muscular Dystrophy Association can find a cure for my disease. MDA research is so vital to me because I want to be around a lot longer. I still have an awful lot to learn.
We go to the bottom half of the second inning, and a 0-0 ball game. The 5, 6, and 7 hitters are due for Sioux City as Victoria and NHCD battle for the ISC World Championship. Tim Wall to start things off, the hero of the winner's bracket final with that RBI single in the bottom of the 9th inning. On the re-entry, Rocky Vitale back behind the plate for Victoria. Good numbers for Tim Wall for the tournament.
.357 average with 2 home runs. Tim Wall with outstanding power.
6 RBI puts him just 2 out of the tournament leadership. Grounder out to short. Handled by Bertoya. The throw across, and very quickly there's 1 out in the bottom half of the second. Brings up Trent Rubley.
The left fielder, Trent Rubley.
Rubley, who began the year at Clearwater and then about 6 games into the season moved to Sioux City. Batting .286, 2 doubles, no runs batted in. Ooh, way out in front of that changeup, and the count is 0-1.
Rubley, like so many of these Sioux City hitters, has outstanding power. He's been known to drive a ball 350, 360 feet. And for a softball, that's amazing.
Piechnik looks in, and the pitch is fouled 0-2. Again, we have a battle of lefties here. Piechnik, the pitcher, and Rubley, the hitter. And for those of us, the fans who haven't been with us for the tournament, certainly we've talked about the fact that lefty-lefty here isn't the disadvantage to the hitter that it is in baseball.
That being because mostly rise balls will go up and drop balls will go straight down, as opposed to the big curve ball that would break away from left-handed hitters from a baseball pitcher.
2-strike pitch to Rubley. A little bit outside, 1-2.
In fast-pitch softball, they do feel left-handers have somewhat of an advantage because there just aren't that many of them in the game today.
Rubley holds up, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. This for Rubley, his 2nd tour of duty with the Sioux City Ball Club. Pops that one foul out of play. He's also spent some time playing for Decatur, Illinois. Sioux City trying to win back-to-back titles. The 2-2 pitch. Waves and misses at the change. Strikeout number 2 for Mike Piechnik.
Steve, excuse me, Steve, it's good to note that some of these players change teams from year to year. Sometimes they'll stay 3 years, 4 years with one team and move on. And oftentimes it's because of job situations. They have an opportunity to maybe advance their family with another profession of some sort. If the sponsors can put them in another line for another job, they will change teams and move around.
Randy Burnside takes his strike, 0-1. Those 6 RBIs tie him with Tim Wall for the team leadership in this tournament. As the rise ball misses high, that evens the count at 1-1. Burnside, a member of that powerhouse pay and pack team from Seattle back in the mid-80s. Chops one, charging, scooping Badavinak. The throw is in time, and a nice play ends the inning. 1-2-3, across for Sioux City in the bottom of the second. We played 2. Sioux City nothing and Victoria nothing.
One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Rack him up.
Take our middle finger and line it up right against that seam. Lift and step. arrange them in this position.
Pitch right down the pipe.
If you think you've thrown over enough, throw over one more time. Oh, dead dog.
See you later. 2 outs. Got him.
Now as we go to throw, thumbs under to get elbows up.
Learn the essentials of pitching from Texas Rangers coach Tom House. His critically acclaimed program's available on video cassette for the lowest price ever. Now, just $29 each. Order the complete library for substantial savings. Call 1-800-522-5333. From little leaguers to big leaguers, the best pitching videos available. Order now.
Arizona State and Nebraska this weekend on Prime.
Some of the beautiful scenery here in Salt Lake City, Utah. The Wasatch Mountain front looming in the background here at the Cottonwood Complex, and we've got a great ball game in this championship matchup. Scoreless as we head to the third. Top of the order due up for Victoria. Nice crowd on hand, as the crowds have been good throughout the tournament here in Salt Lake City. Tournament organizers have done an outstanding job of putting together this 10-day event. Not easy when you have to handle 48 teams coming to town, making sure that everybody is happy with their accommodations and that the fields are in good shape and that the fans are taken care of. All in all, the comments have been outstanding as to how Salt Lake has handled running this 1992 International Softball Congress Tournament. Jeff Herford, 294, a homer, 2 RBI, singled his first time up. Swing and a miss at a rise ball, strike one. 1993, the ISC will revisit Kimberly, Wisconsin. Kimberly, the site of the International Softball Congress Hall of Fame. 1994 tournament was awarded to Summerside, Prince Edward Island this week. Just a little bit inside the ball, 1-1. First time that the tournament will ever head to the Atlantic provinces of Canada. But meeting many of the people from Summerside, they appear to be very enthusiastic hosts as the pitch misses high for a ball, and the count goes to 2-1 on Jeff Herford. Herford trying to get something going. He got the leadoff single in the first, advanced to second, but couldn't get any farther. Fly ball to left. Rubley coming in now, waits for it and puts it away for out number 1. First time that Michael White's been able to keep the leadoff man off the base pass.
Very important in fast pitch softball to get that first batter of every inning.
White struggling so far. He struck out 2, walked 1, allowed 2 hits. Some shaky defense behind him here in the early going, as Sioux City has committed a couple of errors. Aston, the batter, Doug, sacrificed his first time up. Waves and misses at a changeup for strike 1. Victoria Payless trying to become the first ever Canadian ISC champion. There's the bunt, and it hits him way out in front of home plate. He is going to be out. Credit to put out to the catcher there as he ran up in the batter's box, and that hit him way out in front of home plate, Ron.
Here's another look at it. Bunts it out front, and it got him right on the waist. Softball as in baseball. If you run it to you're a fair ball bunt, you're out.
So just the put out, no strikeout for you keeping home a score at home. It's a 2 out, nobody on base for Darrell Clarkson, who fanned his first time up. There's a strike in the count, 0-1. Darrell, an outstanding player for this Victoria ball club, but has struggled so far in this tournament. Well, look how far down Tim Wall gets behind the plate.
Tim Wall, as Tony Pena of the Boston Red Sox often does with no runners on base, will give a real low target, stretching out that one leg.
Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Tim Wall for the strikeout, and that retires the side. So a 1-2-3 inning in the top half of the third. We'll go to the bottom half of inning number 3. Still Sioux City nothing and Victoria nothing.
Slowing down, that ain't you. No, that's not you. Easy drinking beer, that silver bullet smooth.
Know where it's coming from, setting the mood, the pure taste of the Rockies and silver bullet smooth.
Make the move, Coors Lights, it's silver bullet smooth.
Fall sports go full speed ahead this October on Prime. Tune in for Tough Turf Saturdays and catch perennial college collisions including Pac-10, SEC, and ACC powers. Then we'll set you up with Pac-10 volleyball and knock you down with ABC Team Challenge Bowling. We'll also shift gears with our Fast Track Thursdays. Fall sports go full speed ahead this October on Prime.
To unlock your body's potential, we proudly offer Soloflex. 24 old-fashioned iron pumping exercises, each correct in form and balance. All on the simple machine that fits in the corner of your home. For a free brochure, call anytime.
All right, we go to the bottom of the third inning. Seen from up above the state capital of Utah in Salt Lake City. Gorgeous picture of the Salt Lake Valley. Absolutely gorgeous area to come visit sometime and watch some fast pitch. As it'll be Steve Carey and David Boys and Bill Boyer coming to the plate here in the bottom of the third. They face Mike Piechnik, who so far has struck out 2, walked none, and has allowed only 1 base runner, and that was on an error. The batter, Steve Carey, has struggled so far in tournament play. Hits that one deep to center. Back goes Herford to the fence. Leaps up. He can't get to it. It bounds by him. Carrion rounding second on his way to third. He'll be there with a stand-up triple. Well, that came from an unexpected source.
Carrion, not known as a power hitter, still has enough to muscle up against the fence. We'll take a look at it again. First pitch swinging. Carrion takes a rise ball from Piechnik and drives it to deep center field. Center fielder's back to the fence. He just misses it. It's off that page sign out there in center field. Carrion looking over his shoulders, knows he's got third base easy, and comes in standing up.
So the first hit of the ball game for Sioux City, and that'll bring up the shortstop David Boys. As over from third base, Dave Badavinik. Over from first, Darrell Clarkson to have a word with Piechnik. Actually, coaches and managers don't like that kind of base running. Carrion should have been looking at the third base coach, Kirk Odland, all the way around, especially at second base and on. He didn't need to be looking over his shoulder.
Sometimes hard to run forward when you're looking backwards.
David Boys runs up and takes low for a ball.
Infield for Victoria, play in. Try to hold a runner at third base now with no outs.
Boys batting .250 for the tournament. 1 homer, 1 run batted in. Line foul evens the count of the ball and a strike. So after Victoria has missed several opportunities to take the lead, now NHCD has their first good opportunity with a runner at third base and nobody out. Piechnik's 1-1 pitch. Took a little bit off and sliced the outside corner at the knees, 0-1, and I don't think David Boys was convinced that caught the corner.
David Boys, season average coming into the tournament, hitting .375 with 8 home runs and 28 runs batted in. Good numbers for a number 9 hitter.
2-1 pitch, and Boys lays off the rise ball, and the count is 3-1. To make matters worse for Mr. Piechnik, the top of the NHCD order is right around the corner. Now the 2-2. Low and outside, ball 3. So a full count now on been a long road getting back to this championship game for Payless after losing their second game as the pitch misses inside and low for a ball, and that puts runners at the corners, nobody out, and the leadoff hitter Bill Boyer is coming to the plate. What I was getting to, Ron, was the fact that coming into this game, Mike Piechnik had already thrown over 45 innings in this tournament. And even though the fast pitch softball pitching motion is more natural to the body than baseball, sooner or later it's going to put wear and tear on that left arm. And he faces an outstanding player in Bill Boyer, who is basically all universe. Fouls that one back for a strike, 0-1. But again, he has really had his problems in this tournament after getting off to a good start.
He's always a threat, though. Bill Boyer you can't take for granted, even though he might be in a bit of slump. He's just liable to hit one in the gap, or he could lay down a bunt and bring that runner from third base.
The 1-strike pitch, low into the dirt. Good scoop by Vitale to keep the runner at first and the runner at third. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Getting back to your comments on Mike Piechnik, it's good to point out that last night he was forced to go 13 innings against Vancouver in a tight 2-1 win.
The 1-1 swing and a miss, and the count's 1-2. Mike Piechnik, formerly pitched for Madison, Wisconsin, was the co-MVP of the 1988 national tournament. There's a pitch popped up. Will there be room? The wind will take it out of play. Bobby Court, Darrell Clarkson, Doug Chase all over there, but they all ran out of real estate. And so the count on Boyer now goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Steve Carrion started the inning off with a triple off the fence in center field. David Boyes on at first on a base on balls. Boyer bounced to second his first time up. Runner goes, pitches a strike, throw down, not in time. Boyer unhappy with the call at the plate, but David Boyes with the stolen base. And now there are runners at second and third, but there is out number 1 as Piechnik registers his 3rd strikeout.
That's a big stolen base, though, for David Boyes. What it does is remove force plays and the possibility of a double play. It'll also force the infield to play in tight again now to try and hold the runner at third base on any ground ball.
That'll give the hitter an extra bit of gap in between the infielders to drive it through and pick up the runs. Here's Todd Stevenson. Chopper to the first baseman Clarkson. He'll hold up the runner between third and home. Vitale will run Carrion back to the bag. Now he'll throw it away. Carrion will score ahead of the tag. And Mike Piechnik is really in the face of Ron Brinkman. Well, there was a botched up rundown. Piechnik thought he got Carrion coming into the plate. And now Bob Bugslag, the manager, will argue the call as Piechnik heads back to the circle. Darrell Clarkson unhappy too with his play there. And so now Sioux City gets a gift and leads 1-0.
Here's a look at it. Clarkson makes a nice play coming up with Carrion, commits himself too far. He's almost on plate and says, no, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to go back here. What he's trying to do now is stall enough time for the runners to advance to second and third. The throw is
Throw hit him in the helmet.
Throw hit him in the helmet. A bad toss. They waited too long to give the ball up is what they did. And there is going to allow that first run to score for Sioux City.
So runners at second and third. The error on Vitale. And that'll bring up Marty Kernigan. Runners at second and third. The pitch fouled back.
A big break in the inning for the Sioux City side, because Carrion was hung out to dry, and you had David Boyes standing on third base. Actually, they didn't have to throw the ball. Just running back to third, you've got 2 people standing there. Just tag one of them. Somebody's got to be out.
1-strike pitch drilled to left. Aston has it sail over his head. Boyes will score. Stevenson will score. Kernigan around second, and he'll slide in with a triple, and it's now a 3-0 Sioux City lead. And for a championship game, Ron, we've seen some sloppy play.
The magic Victoria has used coming into this game may have worn off. Marty Kernigan, first pitch swinging for Mike Piechnik. Here we go again. The first pitch, low drop ball. Kernigan hits a line shot right at the left fielder. Takes 2 steps in and said, oh no, I made a mistake. Hardest play for an outfielder, of course. That line drive hit right at him. That scores 2 runs easily, and Kernigan hoofs it into third base.
Kernigan with his first triple, his 7th and 8th runs batted into the tournament. That ties him for the tournament lead with Boomer Brush and Jody Henniger of Clearwater. Now Sorensen the batter, and he takes a strike. 0-1. It's not too many times that you get to a championship game. We played almost 3 full innings, and we've had 4 errors by the two teams and a misplay there and left. Ground ball, backhanded by Bertoya, long throw, scooped up out of the dirt by Clarkson for the out. Kernigan will hold his ground at third. And Kirk Odlin, the third base coach for Sioux City, halfway down the line between third and home, arguing that Clarkson didn't catch that ball, that he trapped it against his body. Kernigan, the runner at third. He has the big 2-run triple. That gives Sioux City now a 3-0 lead, and now Odlin will go out and have a word with Dave Casso, the first base umpire.
What he's going to do now is ask the home plate umpire, did you see a bobble? Did he have possession? The first baseman, Clarkson, have possession of that ball? And yes, he concurs. He did have possession, so the out is recorded at first base. A fine play by shortstop Bertoya to hold a runner at Kernigan at third and throw out a good base runner. Here we go again. Sorensen on the ground to the hold. Shortstop Bertoya on a backhand off-balance throw, loses footing there. One hops at first base to Clarkson. Does a nice job coming out of it, and yeah, it looks like he had his bare hand on the ball for control.
Strike one on Tim Wall, who bounced to short his first time up. So the NHCD Bats have staked Michael White to a 3-run lead. Wall can't hold up on the rise ball, and it's 0-2. So a pair of triples, an error, and a walk.
Tim Wall, a member of the bronze medal USA team in the '92 World Championships held in Manila.
Now the 0-2 pitch. Misses outside for a ball, 1-2. Wall, also a former member of that Seattle ball club that won championships in the mid-'80s. Did he go around? They appeal. Yes, he did, says Dave Casso. And that retires the side, but not before. Sioux City scores 3 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 Victoria error, and after 3 complete, it's NHCD 3 and Payless nothing.
And a Coke Classic for your Rafael Palmeiro.
Wait a second. Make it the whole 6-pack, and you've got it.
I can't believe you traded me.
Rafael, wait a second. Rafael!
Hey, come on. 26 home runs, I hit 322, and you traded me?
It's nothing personal, dude. Just business.
Hey, don't call me dude.
4th inning, 3-0 now in favor of NHCD, and Michael White staked to this advantage. And he's a tough pitcher to try to come from behind on, but Victoria has the bats that are capable of doing so. White picked up by Sioux City last year.